Welcome to Sammy C. Press. Today we're diving back into something more than Shakespeare, Poetry Workbook. We're going to be discussing Douglas Malloch. He was born in 1877 and died in 1938. He was known as the lumberman's poet, and he was born in Michigan. Good Timber is one of my favorite poems. It describes how hardship and struggle form good timber, as well as people. No matter what we may experience, we never want to believe that our life is a tragedy or that we are a victim. By taking that view, we would admit defeat and will not be able to grow stronger from what we have weathered. Instead, we would simply be broken. This poem made its first appearance in 1922. In the poem, Douglas uses simple language and standard syntax. Remember the arrangement of words and phrases to create well-formed sentences and language? So the reader can easily get the point. It has 4 stanzas with 6 lines each. Remember, 6 lines is called a sestet. The couplets give the poem a song-like sound. The rhyme pattern is AABBCC. It has a metaphor, an extended metaphor comparing trees to human beings. This is a new word for you, although many poems we have discussed have used it. It is called alliteration. It is an interesting formal device that can be seen through the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of multiple words. There are clear examples in stanza 4 with broken branches, and then again in stanza 3 with storm and strength. This tool is used to make the words in the poem more memorable. It can also change the mood and emotion of the poem. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as the sound of M in never become a manly man, or the sound of S in whose broken branches show the scars. To clarify, consonance involves a repetition of only consonant sounds, whereas alliteration can involve the repetition of either vowel sounds or consonant sounds. It also has assonance. This is a repetition of vowel sounds in the same line, such as the sound of E in the tree that never had to fight, and the sound of O in but stood out in the open plain. We also see our friend enjamberment. Remember, it is when there is a continuation of the sentence without pause at the end of the line, couplet, or stanza. You have to read on to finish the thought. Let's read the poem Good Timber by Douglas Malloch. The tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a shrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger wind, the stronger trees. The further sun, the greater length. The more the storm, the more the strength. By sun and cold, by rain and snow, in trees and men, good timbers grow. Where thickest lies the forest growth, we find the patriarchs of both, and they hold counsel with the stars, whose broken branches show their scars. Of many winds and much of strife, this is the common law of life. Isn't that such a beautiful poem? There's something else I found interesting in learning about Douglas. We learned that Paul Laurence Dunbar wrote a poem entitled Sympathy, which was about a caged bird in 1899. Douglas also wrote a poem called The Caged Bird. I could not find the year, but his lifespan was between 1877 and 1938. So could it be that at 22 years of age, Douglas read Dunbar's poem and was inspired to write a poem of his own? Then fast forward to 1983, when Maya Angelou published the poem Caged Bird. We know that Maya was inspired by Dunbar's poem, But could she have read Douglas's poem as well? I wrote a version of the poem too, but my angle's a bit different. The cage is not viewed as oppression, but as a protection. The cage represents living by certain standards, so as not to cause unnecessary pain or suffering. I am sure there are many, many, many other poems that have been written since 1899, and many, many more to come. Never doubt your ability to inspire others. We have a prime example right here in front of us that we discussed today. So I hope you enjoyed the discussion about Douglas Malloch. I hope I pronounced his last name correctly because I am the epitome of mispronunciation. All right, until next time.